Good morning. Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to Monday's our daily transmission. Hello. Thanks for your patience. It's definitely a Monday morning, and hope you're all doing well this morning, wherever you are in the world. Day, evening, or morning. Sending out a big hug to you from my heart to yours. Feel free to introduce yourself in the chat and where you're watching live from, or if you'd like to share in the replay in the comments. We love to read your feedback. Bonjour. So good to see everyone saying hello to one another. So this month of March, we are focusing on the subject of creativity and communication with the Ascended Masters of the Sophia Dragon Tribe. And we're working with sovereignty teachings from the Sophia Code that help guide us in our understanding of these important topics that impact our divine purpose, our higher self-embodiment, and our spiritual leadership in this world. So today's passage, we'll be reading from the Sophia Code on page 68. We're going to be reading from Isis's Key Code 1 initiation. And if you haven't done the Key Code 1 initiation, what a powerful way to activate your divine genome and begin the process of stepping into your sovereign empowerment in unexpected and miraculous ways, because that's what happens when we mentor with Isis and her spiritual mentor, Hathor, who we meet in the next chapter in the Sophia Code. Isis and Hathor are a lot like Mother Mary and Mary Magdalene. They're a bit of a tag team. And for those of you who have felt drawn to Hathor, but perhaps feel a little bit intimidated by the depth of her quantum teachings, Isis is an exceptional place to begin actually mentoring with Hathor, because it's only a matter of time as you are receiving guidance from Isis, as you are learning how to lean into her as an exceptional spiritual guide. It's only a matter of time before Isis guides you to connect with Hathor consciously. Because their teachings are interwoven, their transmission is interwoven, and we present their individual transmissions in the Sophia Code because it really does require studying both of these ascended masters to understand the totality of their shared teachings. To work with one individually helps our human awareness soften and surrender into the necessary steps that Isis provides us to be able to expand into the limitless teachings that Hathor is presenting to us about our unlimited creativity, the unlimited reach of our soul. Isis acts as like an anchor. She acts as a sword in the ground. She is like a divine force of nature that helps us stay incredibly focused on all the different places and spaces within us that are resistant to our divine power, which perfectly lines us up over time to accept our divine creative power that Hathor is initiating us into. So I just want to take this moment to, again, welcome everyone that's arriving now live. And I think this is a really good opportunity to begin with an invocation of our Key Code mentors. I'm feeling a lot of energy in the field. I think it's time to ground it in. I know that there's been a lot of energy in the media and the news. And I think this would be a perfect opportunity for us to call in our circle of empowerment before we step into this Isis reading. So I invite you to visualize a beautiful circle of light around your body. And this circle of light appears about 6 to 8 feet outside of your body. And we work with very specific individual key codes from this overarching Ascended Master High Council. And these are the key codes that we invoke to create our circle of empowerment. In the north, we welcome White Buffalo Woman, who we experienced some of her teachings in last week's YouTube Live, which you can watch again here on Kaia Ra Official. In the northeast, we welcome beloved Winged Ascended Master Isis, with her beautiful Ankh of Life stepping forward in the northeast. In the eastern gate of that circle of empowerment, we welcome beloved Ascended Master Hathor in all of her golden radiance. In the southeast, we welcome Green Tara, who I was meditating a lot with this weekend. Green Tara steps forward in the southeast. In the south, we welcome Mother Mary, she of 1,000 roses, key code 4 in the Sophia Code. Mother Mary steps forward with her arms open to you in the south. In the southwest, I welcome in Mary Magdalene and Ascended Master Jesus, including Saint Joan of Arc. In the west, we welcome beloved Kuan Yin, beautiful Ascended Master, spiritual guide of self-compassion and self-love. And we also welcome in the northwest, the beautiful Holy Seraphim, the Sophia dragons. Feeling how that circle of empowerment is surrounding you in protection, divine grace, and that miraculous frequency of your sovereign divinity, which each of these ascended masters are embodying perfectly on your behalf. They're embodying their own sovereign resonance as a mirror to your consciousness of what is possible for you in your own human embodiment. And we welcome the full presence of your higher self-consciousness falling fresh upon you, flowing as a column of light from the very light of our source, the source consciousness that gave birth to your soul. You are forever connected to your source. You are never not connected to your source. And that beautiful waterfall of light that is your soul, that is your higher self, that is your oversoul, downloading into this world, creating your human body. We welcome that presence of your soul's omniscient consciousness, your soul's divine love falling fresh upon your awareness now, filling your body, heart, and mind, and filling up this circle of empowerment with your own sovereign divine resonance. Hi, Sophia. You saying hello? I also welcome you to connect to the very heart of the center of Mother Earth with that column of light, and to feel that column of light as you anchor into the heart of Mother Earth, expand out to the circumference of your circle. Excuse me, like along the perimeter of your circle. And then for those of you who have activated your angel wings, you may feel your angel wings unfurling from the back of your heart chakra. And if you haven't activated your angel wings, you can watch that activation on my website at kaira.com. It's a continuation of the key code 5 Mary Magdalene activation or initiation. Oh, Sophia. Okay. My kitty is quite active here at my feet. Maybe she's feeling the circle of empowerment too. All right, so welcoming in the presence of Isis, I'm feeling that this energy really calming and centering within each and every one of us. It feels really good. And I welcome the presence of Isis to step forward, to open our body, hearts, and minds to the power of her words in this reading from the Sophia Code. And I welcome you to turn to page 68 in the Sophia Code, and we're going to read her message to us together. And this message really sets us up to understand the depth of creativity, the depth of leadership that Isis is initiating us into through the key code 1 initiation. So we're going to start at the top of the page where it says Isis speaks. And Isis shares, "Thank you for welcoming me as a mentor, guide, and friend for your heroic human journey. My divine feminine embodiment of sovereign creative power provides a clear mirror for you to recognize the same divine power within you. Today is ordained by your higher self to dissolve your unconscious commitments to fearing the sovereign power within you. I am Isis, and in the sanctuary of my wings, you are safe to unfurl your own. This is your lifetime to fly free in the vista of your personal sovereignty. I come to you as a loving witness, mentoring your awareness to accept the royal divinity of your soul. You are now ready to receive your higher self, activating the full potential of your divine genome and human body. Allow the words of my sacred heart to guide your awareness in the acceptance that this is your lifetime to shine. Your true nature is holy. Your true nature is joy. Your true nature is peace. Your true nature is the same creative power that birthed the stars above. If we're going to talk about creativity, let's start there. Your true nature is the same creative power that birthed the stars above. That's extraordinary. That's what exists within inside of you. And Isis continues to share, when your personal power is guided by the pure motives of your sacred heart, you are singing a new reality into form. That's an interesting choice of words. You are singing a new reality into form, protected by your own invincible nature. I assure you, it is safe to be seen. It is safe to lead. You are here to contribute your legacy of love, your heart's vision for heaven on earth, for the dawning of this next golden age. To fulfill your great purpose for being here, you must relinquish small ideas about yourself and believe in your divine sovereign power to create a new world. These are the words of Isis from the Sophia Code on page 68. These are some extraordinary statements that Isis is making, and I'm just going to go over a few of them before we have a little meditation with Isis. And I'm reading in the feed, Ashley, one of our team angels, is sharing, we have some special announcements for our community, which I'm really excited to share as well. We're going to be making that announcement, I believe, later this week. So stay tuned for that. So what's happening right now worldwide? Everyone is waking up to the propaganda machine of the Matrix. Everyone is noticing that those who are in power do not care about human lives. Everyone is coming into the realization that there's no solution in choosing sides in an old paradigm that's designed to enslave our body, hearts, and minds. It's becoming too obvious. People are waking up that there's a world that we are living on based in lies, and that these lies are hiding more lies. And so what do we do? What do we do when we are faced with a propaganda machine that would keep us enslaved to terror and fear? The same narrative we've been hearing for the past, honestly, 60 years. And in different variations of wars and global threats. What do? We do what we've always been called by the masters to do, which is to discover the creative power within us, the ability to create solutions beyond the old dualistic paradigm that would keep us enslaved to fear. If there has ever been a time to focus on creativity, to focus on joy, to focus on your sovereignty. It's right now. It's right now in the present moment and every day of the rest of this year moving forward. We have a choice to focus on the light, the truth, the power of this creative force that Isis declares in her key code initiation is the same creative power that birthed the stars above. She is drawing an absolute parallel between the divine mother, a creatrix of all life, and your own heart, your own body, heart, and mind. And what have we gained by not believing in that creative power? What have we gained by keeping ourselves small? As Isis shares, she said, to fulfill your great purpose for being here, you must relinquish small ideas about yourself and believe in your divine sovereign power to create a new world. We haven't gained much about it, honestly, other than staying the same, other than perhaps appearing normal to our friends or our coworkers. It's just like, we are here to think new thoughts. We are here to download new solutions that have never existed before. We are here to live our lives and our relationship with others in ways that, yeah, do they poke the bear? Sure. Does it trigger others when we decide to live our lives differently? Absolutely. Does it create a new space for others to consider that they could make new choices for themselves? Yes. I want to give an example of creativity that I don't think most people would think about as creativity. So for years, I've chosen to not drink alcohol. And I'm not saying anyone's right or wrong for drinking alcohol. It's simply a choice that I made for myself and my own body, for my own health. And I simply just didn't enjoy it. It just never felt good in my body. So it's been amazing over the years to witness when I'm with people who do drink alcohol, how at first it makes them feel uncomfortable. Like, well, what do you mean you're not going to have a drink? What do you mean you're not going to have a glass of wine? We're all drinking. And the space that it creates with even one person choosing to create a different experience for themselves opens up the possibility for others to explore that they don't have to drink to connect with one another. They don't have to lean into alcohol to feel in alignment with one another or harmony with one another, or to tap into the lightness that they want to tap into. There's so many reasons we lean into substances. Humanity leans into substances to feel like they can just be themselves. What if you were already being yourself? And then, although it might unsettle or ruffle the feathers of others, it creates a new space for others to explore what it would feel like to not have to lean that heavy into alcohol to have a good time, or lean into it at all. That's creativity too. Hi. I love some of these comments coming in. Creativity is not just, how you decorate your home, or if you have any artistic talents. Creativity is how you live your life. Creativity is how you take a stand for creating greater liberation in the world. Creativity is, how we choose to have conversations, or how we choose to abstain from certain conversations. Creativity is deciding that you're going to show up to life in a way that makes a significant impact with others without making anyone else wrong for it. Creativity is choosing to be hopeful, faithful, loving, and inspiring and courageous. Creativity is choosing to be seen when everything in the media would have us run for the hills and play it safe by giving into fear. Creativity is choosing to step forward and fully embody your career or spearhead your business, step into your spiritual leadership when everyone, when it would feel like the trauma of this world would have you step back. And when we don't give in, when we choose to continue to live in our courageous, heroic human journey with the Ascended Masters, what we discover is that our creativity continues to build a resonance, a vibrational reality that others can access when they're ready to give up their own addictions to the trauma, the global narrative, the paradigm, that we are less than, that we deserve to be controlled and oppressed, into our spiritual awakening. It's like we're creating a world that is based on Sophia Christ consciousness, that is so innately creative, holy, pure, and joyful, that it provides another place, another reality for people to plug into, and to start unplugging from the terror and fear and the dualistic paradigm that the Matrix would want us to stay connected to. As we disconnect from that terror, as we disconnect from those agendas, we plug into our true selves. We start to experience the radiance, the glow, the divine downloads of our innate creativity that Isis is sharing about here. And then we learn how to lead from this place in very daring and courageous ways that, provides refuge, safety, inspiration, and growth for others to experience for themselves. So when Isis says, my divine feminine embodiment of sovereign creative power provides a clear mirror for you to recognize the same divine power within you, she means it. She is not saying these words to make you feel better about yourself. She's not telling you that the same creative power that birthed the stars above exists in you because it's something nice to say. Like, Isis is a lot of things, but she's not nice. She's genuine, she's authentic, she's extremely powerful, incredibly loving. But when I think of the words nice, I think of someone that there's just something, they're offering you something on the surface, and there's a lot, it's just not. Nice is placating. Nice is going along with the system, being genuine, authentic, loving, real. That's Isis. And she's not being nice here. She's being genuine. She's calling you into a remembrance of who you really are. Here's the reason why we resist Isis's calling to spiritual leadership, to our divine purpose, to our creativity. It's because when we choose to embrace the truth of who we really are, we're responsible for it. When it's like everybody says, oh, I want to be psychic. I want to receive messages from my angels and my guides, but that means you're responsible for that information. You're responsible for doing something. And so it's with that information. So it's important to understand that this is why you're resistant to these words. This is why you might minimize the words of the Sophia Code. It's because it's calling you into the greatness that you already are. And once you are called and you begin to answer that call, there's no turning back. There's the greatest get to of your life. But yes, it becomes a responsibility to live your life through the sovereign creatorhood of your higher self, not through the victimization of this world, not through the victim mentality. Oh, someone else will save me. Someone else will do something for me. Someone else will save our world. No, there is no one else. God sent us as angels in human form to embody this sovereign creative power. That the divine is already downloading into us all of the time. Did you know you don't have to make up your creative spirit? Did you know you don't even have to make up feelings of love? The divinity that you are is capable of loving this world beyond your human awareness. The divine creative power that your soul is already pouring through you. It's just the ego structure that blocks it. You don't have to find a way to be creative. It's about opening your heart to who you already are, opening your angel wings to who you already are, and learning how to surrender just a little bit more every day into this very powerful creative flow that's already the creative source of the solutions that you need. So this responsibility that's given to us when we are awakening to our sovereign divinity, it's not a heavy burden. The heavy burden is releasing the obstructions, the belief systems, the small ideas about ourselves that we've been carrying around forever. You know, the programming, that's the heavy burden. Your sovereign creativity, that is the gift. That is the lightness of your soul that wants to pour through you, even beyond efforting. And so this is why the Ascended Masters talk about our spiritual journey as not as a destination, but as a path that we walk day by day, incrementally learning how to surrender into, accept, and radiate the truth of our sovereign divinity, the light of our soul, right through our eyes, our hands, our thoughts, our mouths, how we walk in this world, how we carry ourselves, right? With our wings up, our hearts open, our minds clear. The ability to create a new world, that is not a heavy burden. It's the journey of releasing everything that's keeping us from us. That's the heavy. And even that heavy is absolutely lightened when we invoke our divinity and our spiritual family, our guides, our guardian angels, and the Ascended Masters to help us clear out those resistances to our creativity. Again, creativity is a state of mind, and it is our responsibility to be creative, critical thinkers. We think for ourselves, we use our higher self's discernment, and we choose to tap into that divine flow that knows when to tell your human awareness, take a left. Okay, then I'm going to take a left. Now it's time to go right. Okay, it's time to go right. Wear this outfit. I don't know why I'm wearing this outfit. Well, that outfit's going to impact how you have a conversation with somebody later that night at the school board meeting that you're going to for your children. It's just like, oh, okay, time to sit down and journal. Oh, well, I don't want to journal. I should be doing this. Well, no, that's really what you need to be doing in this moment. And then you sit down and journal, and you're given a creative solution to a conversation that you need to have 4 hours later in the afternoon. This is why we created the Sophia Code Mystery School. This is why we have the Stargate 1 and 2 curriculums, because this is how you learn how to embody your higher self and then create sacred space for others through your spiritual leadership, because you are intuitively listening and downloading those creative solutions all day long. And most creative solutions are not huge, miraculous breakthroughs. They're moment by moment daily guidance that the Sophia Code initiations, these key code initiations, where we're meeting Isis in today's reading, they open our awareness, they open our body, hearts, and minds up to this frequency, this sovereign creative resonance that's already pouring through you. It already exists within you. And mentoring with Isis and allowing these key code initiations to activate every part of your being sets you up. It gets you in alignment with learning how to think through that sovereign creative light within you, one step at a time, one day at a time. There's really nothing glamorous here happening other than the absolute radiance of your own soul taking over, operating your human awareness, your human body, your human mind in ever increasing measure. That's the glamour. Yes, of course, these Ascended Masters are beautiful and powerful and inspiring and even, sexy to our consciousness, but it's just like your radiance is the glory. Your soul is the glamour. Learning how to be a radiant being in your daily life. That's the spiritual gold. That's the joy. That's what you're really looking for. That's the fulfillment that you are really calling forward today and every day. Every day, that's what you're really, honestly, unconsciously seeking to feel fulfilled by the power, the creative power of your own soul. The beauty that you're going to create today, like the tiny miracles that are going to lead up to the miracle of this entire day. That's what you're craving. And anything that gets manifested along the way, that's the icing on the cake. That's fun. Fun and fabulous. Great. But at the end of the day, it's not about how much money is in your bank account. Not to say that that's not important, but it's really not about that. It's not about how many follows or likes you got. It's not about how many power moves you made. It's about, how did I fulfill this day with greater beauty, greater creativity, greater expressions of the divine? How did I bring greater divine love and compassion into this world? How did I get to experience myself differently when I chose more discerning, creative thoughts? What happened when I unplugged from the propaganda machine and plugged into my source power? How am I willing to explore being the same creative energy in a human body that birthed the stars above? What's going to happen today when I allow that starlight to pour through me? We're going to find out. We're going to find out all day long. So I welcome you in this moment to feel the gift that you are to this world, the radiant light that you are in this world, to feel how much you are anchoring, how much creative power you are anchoring within your body. First, of course, for your own heart, for yourself, but then, of course, for your family, for your coworkers, for your community, for your clients, for this world. Feel how within your circle of empowerment, you are a radiant, angelic, sovereign, creative light that every single person that comes into contact with you today is going to be blessed by, moved by, uplifted by, inspired by your higher self embodiment. And we welcome the wings of Isis to bless your angel wings, to support you in keeping a very clear mind, to stay grounded and centered within your human body from your crown to your root, to feel that column of light that your higher self is coursing through you, connecting you all the way to the center of the earth, to anchor that sovereign creative light of your Holy Spirit higher self all the way to the very center of the earth, which then allows you to be a lighthouse, a beacon, an embodied way shower of that sovereign creative divine light wherever you go. And to feel how Isis and each of these key code ascended masters are standing with you, supporting you in every present moment to choose higher, to set the bar higher for yourself, to explore your creativity in new ways. And at any point, Isis is saying you can lean into her and share, hey, Isis, please help me download and receive a clear message from my higher self. I'm feeling a little bit resistant. I'm feeling a little bit doubtful. Please help me amplify my faith in this moment. Help me to come back into the stillness and receive the solutions that are already buzzing within me like bees, buzzing around the nectar of divine love. And let me tell you, Isis is going to help you ground and center and refocus like a laser beam. If there is one ascended master that will keep you focused on your divine purpose, that will help you stay very clear, organized, and create the systems in your life that you need to continue in your wild creative expansion with Hathor, it's Isis. I'm wearing the Isis Embody Your Sovereignty pendant that I designed today because I was so inspired. I want to share a little bit about how, Isis's prompting of creativity is what led me to design this jewelry collection. I never would have done that if it weren't for Isis. There was so many variables. There were so many, honestly, like hurdles to overcome to design and create these jewelry collections. And I want to give an example of how saying yes to this creative impulse that really more creative calling that Isis shared with me, what happened, like how it's gone on to support so many other people. So for example, we had a marketing photo shoot happen on Friday, and the photographer actually showed up with this pendant on. And then one of our team angels showed up with the Hathor pendant. And it was so amazing to witness, oh my God, the photographer's mentoring with Isis And one of our main support team angels is mentoring with Hathor, because that's how you know, depending on which pendant you go to put on, that's who you're aligning with that day to help you radiate and bloom in your higher self embodiment. It's like, that's who's your daily mentor and teacher, every present moment. So I'm witnessing the photographer with this Isis pendant, and then I'm watching the team angel support who's wearing the Hathor pendant, and how their consciousnesses are actually embodying the essence of each of the key codes for this photo shoot, and how they were dancing with one another in this perfect harmony of creative support and creative solutions, and how it kept how the Isis pendant and her work with Isis was keeping her extremely focused and tuned into immediate downloading of solutions, as this Hathor energy was circulating at the photo shoot, really keeping us open to the quantum energy of new solutions, new creative dynamics that we may not have been really aware of without that presence of Hathor guiding us in that laser focus to get so many shots done in a very short amount of time. And, to witness these two beautiful souls wearing this beautiful jewelry, watching their connection with the Ascended Masters and how they were leaning into their mentorship, it was just so inspiring for me to remember, oh my God, when I say yes to the creative calling of my divine purpose, it opens up the playing field, not only to support myself in this platform in greater expressions of creativity, but everyone else in their creative professional embodiments as well. And the ripples keep rippling out and rippling out and rippling out in every direction. When you say yes to your creative calling, it sends ripples out into everyone's creative calling. And again, I believe that we can bring creativity into every field, into every discipline, into every focus. I mean, think about the creativity of Einstein. Think about the creativity of any of the quantum theorists out there that are pushing the very edges of what we know about reality. Creativity can exist in everything we do. And it's about opening our body, hearts, and minds up to living in our true sovereign creative potential, which is pure fire. Fire. It is pure creative fire. It's here to literally transfigure, transmute the old paradigm as we rise as the phoenix and our collective sovereign divinity, creating from a new sovereign paradigm from a completely different perspective, from the perspective of our source, the perspective of our divinity. I mean, that's the kind of life I want to live every single day. How about you? How are you feeling about this transmission on your own creativity? Feel free to share in the chat. I'm happy to read some of your reflections before we close. Taryn is sharing. Who else has felt that when they wear their dragon jewels? Yes. I love that, Taryn. I love that question. And we have curated a creativity and communications collection, so you can work with those key codes directly that are connected to mentoring our creativity and communication. And you'll find that link in the video description. Chelsea is sharing. I wore mine yesterday and got really fiery and clear about what is mine to do and what is not to do. Thank you so much for sharing, Chelsea. Chelsea is an incredible spiritual leader. She was already leading before she found the Sophia Code, and now she's also a Sophia Circle leader and leads Sophia Circle Journeys. You can find out more about her in our directory on my website. So what Chelsea is sharing is that she was wearing her own Isis pendant, and it helped her get super clear. You could think about the energy of this pendant like a sword in the ground, like Joan of Arc's sword in the ground. It just like helps you identify where you are being codependent in your leadership, where you might be wearing too many hats, and where you can pull back and allow others to lead side by side with you, where you can delegate, where you can let go of control and allow that creative consciousness to flow not just through you, but within each and every person around you. It's just like, that's the essence of creativity as well. It wants to light everyone up, not just yourself. The spirit, the true Holy Spirit of creativity wants everyone to be creative together. Heidi is sharing, yes, I'm so ready to step into the creativity of her true self. Sophia is sharing, I love this. It's so empowering. I took a brave step with creativity today with Isis, in her mentorship with Isis, and I released my first podcast episode. Congratulations, Sophia. We are celebrating this creative calling step that you took action upon today. God bless this podcast. We're so proud of you. Amy is sharing yesterday that she had a long talk about creativity with a good friend and a mentor. And today's KR Daily Transmission is such a synchronicity, more inspiration to follow my heart's desires. Oh, I love hearing that, Amy. Thank you so much for sharing. Another Sophia is sharing, several Sophias here in the chat today. I make jewelry and paint as well, and I feel the divinity flow through me anytime that I open up to create, and I feel so grateful to hear this transmission today. Oh, thank you. Kathy is sharing, I feel the combined love and energy that we all share is being felt throughout the world now. Thank you so much for writing in, and please feel free to share more in the replay, the video replay. Uni is sharing it. Your example of designing dragon jewels is encouraging for me to hear. I love how creative action brings in connectivity. Yes, thank you for sharing that. It's like, what is the whole point of creativity? It's to unify us in divine consciousness. It's to feel how interwoven we are. It's to feel the bliss of co-creating with one another, whether it's in our thoughts and ideas, or yes, physical creations. It's like, and actions, any way that we choose to truly embody the resonance of sovereign creativity with one another. What are we exploring? We are exploring the joy and the playfulness of divine love. And that's why Ascended Master Isis and Ascended Master Hathor light my fire so big. They open my heart so wide, because between the two of them, you've got this profound focus and passion to really make a difference on the earth plane with Isis. And you have the spirit of Hathor's creative genius and playfulness merging with that power-packed leadership of Isis. And what happens is an explosion of divine love. And that is the creative divine love that is here to birth a new paradigm, a new world, through our hearts working together as the one body of Sophia Christ. I'm so grateful to have shared this very inspiring and fiery morning with you in the spirit of creativity. Thank you so much for joining us live today. And if you've been joining on the replay, thank you for watching this replay. Please feel free to go ahead and like this video, share your feedback and comments in the replay. If you're new to our channel, go ahead and subscribe to Kaia Ra Official, because we're here with you Monday through Friday, every morning, bringing you the daily transmission from the Ascended Masters, teachings from the Sophia Code. Every month, there's a new theme for us to really explore our collective evolutionary growth together, and to stay empowered and to stay focused on the truth of who we really are. Remember, we have some special announcements coming up. Be sure to subscribe to our email list, and we'll be sharing more here on YouTube Live as well as Facebook Live this week, because we have some exciting announcements coming up about Austin, where I will be next live for our Sovereign Spiritual Leadership Training Immersive, where we're going to go deep. We're going to step fully into our power. We have some incredible outdoor fire ceremonies where we are going to throw down, do some exceptional quantum light grid work for the planet, as well as initiate our body, hearts, and minds to step forward truly as Golden Dragon teachers, leaders, healers, and advocates for this new paradigm. I hope I get to see you in Austin. It's going to be absolutely life-changing. I love you all so much. Have a beautiful, beautiful, blessed day or evening wherever you are in the world. Namaste.